John Relish has seen Newport transform from a team of postmen to taking on one of the world's biggest clubs. The county legend was their first ever manager when they reformed in 1989 after being relegated from the Football League and going bust.
Back then they had to play home games at Gloucestershire club Morton in Marsh after cobbling together a team of local lads with the ambition to return county to the EFL. Relish, 70, who also managed the club in the old Third Division in 1986, will be at Rodney Parade today for the visit of Manchester United.
And he told Sunsport, "It was almost 2 hours to get to Morton, so the team coach used to leave Newport at about 10 a.m. for home games. But half the team were postmen who had been up doing their rounds since 4 a.m, so came straight to the bus, dressed still in their uniforms, absolutely shattered."
Read more sport. STORIESRED Devil. I felt full force of Fergie hairdryer treatment. He told me to sell house and go power up, get £40 in free football bet builder bets when you stake £10 with Paddy Power, so we reserved the back rows of seats so they could have a kip. I tell them, go and get 2 hours and we'll wake you when we get there. I was emotional at Wembley when the club returned to the EFL in 2013, but this match is another step.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that we'd be entertaining Manchester United when we were getting on the bus to Morton in Marsh for our first game against Pegasus Juniors in the Federated Homes League. Dreams don't happen like that, but it has. Most Red in Football Police worry Carabao Cup final kick-off time may change amid police concern on fan clashes transfer. Latest Phillips completes West Ham medical, Benzema exclusive, Trippier exit swap shop transfer recommendations for GW21 Brighton and Man City stars to cash in Reese's Pieces. Reece James could be sold to Premier League rival in shock deal. Casino special. Best casino welcome offers, and so many people deserve credit for getting this club where they are today.
County's resurrection is a perfect role model for clubs that have been wronged by dodgy owners and the football establishment like Bury and Macclesfield. For Newport had the whole weight of FIFA, UEFA and the Welsh FA against them. Yet this small club took him on and won.
County returned home in 1990, but 2 years later were forced to spend another 2 seasons in exile, this time at Gloucester City, because the FAW banned them from their own country due to a refusal to join the League of Wales. At the time, UEFA were threatening to take away the newly formed league's European places, and FIFA even looked to ban Newport from being allowed to play football.
It led to the League of Wales president Tommy Force spitefully branding Newport, no more Welsh than Gateshead. Yet the club, who adopted the Exiles nickname, won a landmark High Court battle for restriction of trade.
Relish said, "Manchester United will be a huge challenge this weekend, but nowhere near as big as taking on FIFA, UEFA and the FAW. That was real David v Goliath stuff." The former county boss made 337 appearances for the club as a fullback between 1974 and 1987, but early in his career spent 3 months on loan at Bury from Chester.
And he would love to see the Shakers inspired by the Newport story and work their way up the leagues now they have returned to Gig Lane following their 2019 EFL expulsion. He said, "Clubs like Bury, with their fan base, it can be done. A lot of things must go your way, but unless you energize the town you're not going to get anywhere," and it didn't happen overnight in Newport.
We lost a generation of supporters. When we were travelling to Morton and Gloucester, you saw them in their hundreds going to watch Cardiff. But thankfully we had 600 fans travelling to watch us, which gave us a good base to start climbing from a league where many teams were only getting 80.
There will be 9,500 crammed into Rodney Parade on Sunday. The club erected a temporary 1,056-seat stand for home fans and put an extension onto the away end for United's 1,400 allocation. Erik ten Hag's men though will have to cram into a much smaller changing room than the huge ones they enjoy at Old Trafford and across the Premier League.
But they will be grateful. County will afford them better hospitality than a West Ham team including Trevor Brooking, Billy Bonds, Alan Devonshire and Frank Lampard SNR received for an FA Cup third-round game in 1979. Relish, who was in the Newport team, said, "You wouldn't get away with it now. Len Ashurst was our manager and we had a plan to make it as uncomfortable as possible for West Ham."
They came down to our place and found there were no light bulbs in the dressing room, no toilet rolls, the tea was cold and there were puddles all over their floor. And we gave them semi-deflated footballs to warm up with. We could hear them all complaining like crazy.
West Ham were used to the best of everything, so we wanted to make them uncomfortable and see how they fancied coming down to South Wales on a cold, windy January night. It worked because we won 2-1. Although Newport hosted Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in 2019, Relish says this United tie dwarfs that because of their sheer domestic and global appeal.
The Red Devils, along with Spanish giants Real Madrid and Barcelona, are regarded as the planet's biggest clubs. Relish said, "United are one of only two teams Newport have never played, Liverpool being the other one.
But this game has made me realize just how massive Man United is, not just the fan base that actually go to Old Trafford, but the people who have a soft spot for them." The city has gone absolutely crazy since we set up this tie. I feel so sorry for those who work at the club because we've got the smallest staff in League Two.
There are just 6 people working full-time, a couple part-time and some volunteers. This is not meant to be derogatory, but we have at the moment a National League South set up because the infrastructure off the field has not kept pace with the team's success.
And this match against United just happens to have landed a week after we hosted Wrexham, which in itself is a huge game and was sold out to capacity. But can Newport stun United on Saturday? Read more. Sun STORIESSIR. Winter Sun Spanish hotel like Center Parks on Sea. has 24C temps £15 flights. No love. Love Island fans slam Islander as fake and say she's playing up to cameras. Relish said, a lot has to go right.
County have to play out of their skins. United must have a bad day. Key decisions will need to go in our favour. But the big dream for me is to draw the game and get a replay. A game at Old Trafford will earn this club £1 million, enough income for the club to pay the whole of next season.